So, Mark, did you see the age-old question that BetMGM asked to consumers on social media? What's worse, busting at 20 or losing to a dealer blackjack?
Tell me you have a new grad running your social media department that's never been inside a casino without telling me that you have a new grad that's never been inside a casino. This is the dumbest thing I've seen in a long time.
How do you think that conversation went when they finally figured this out?
You're getting written up. What for? What'd I do? Nobody hits on a 20, idiot.
So we've talked about Resorts World a lot on the show. I will talk about my Hilton stay. Somebody asked coming up next week. There's just been so much, but they did talk about their second quarter earnings and they released a report. And there's not a lot in here or a huge amount, but they saw their revenues grow 8% like quarter on quarter. So they're looking at that. Overall, they have seen a slowdown and revenue is down 18% in the second quarter. Hotel occupancy fell 89.4 in the quarter before to a little over 80% in the quarter. EBITDA was down 64%. So yeah, it's like mixed messages. It's everything else we've seen. It's not really terrible stuff. They say the fall is going to be good. It's soft like we would expect. So basically nothing new here.
Yeah, I think it's good to see that they went from first quarter to second quarter was a little bit positive because we saw most properties dip down second quarter from first quarter. So that's interesting that they had the reverse effect. But then when you go back and look at compared to quarter two of 2024, the numbers look a lot worse. They still made money, they say. So that's good, still profitable. But there was also, the Super Bowl in 2024. So that swings some stuff up there. I was one of those people at Resorts World spending some money, helping them out. And I didn't go back this year. So I could see why they're quite a bit off, but maybe still positive overall. Third quarter is going to be a struggle, but hopefully the fourth quarter is when everybody starts to see stuff back again.
The company said Resorts World Las Vegas continues to see improvements in high-end play with increased table volumes. In addition, Resorts World expects to see improvements in ADR and hotel occupancy in 2025 and beyond through an upgraded hotel management system, which now allows them to own the hotel customer database. So this is a part of their agreement with Hilton, where before Hilton owned everything and now Resorts World is sort of managing it.
I'm curious how much was when they were letting those people come in and do the illegal gambling or not checking the funds? How much was that propping up their numbers?
For sure. But this is interesting because we saw Virgin do something very similar with Hilton, where they took over management of the hotel side. And I do wonder how disconnected these databases are between their hotel guests and their casino guests and all of that. And the fact that they point this out clearly shows that it was a problem and maybe that will help them out. But I don't know. No new revelations here. Resorts World not doing well, but it's not the end of the world, I suppose.
I think it makes sense that maybe there'd be disconnect between the gaming side and the hotel side. But when you have a hotel brand bringing you 80 to 90% occupancy, I don't think that's anything to sneeze at. So I wouldn't blame Hilton too much.
So moving on, Josh and Rachel, they went to the Venetian this week. They were in town staying, and they stayed in one of the more unique rooms that a lot of people probably don't know about. And this is just one of their standard suites at the Venetian, but it also has an outdoor terrace. If you zoom in on Google Maps, you can see these. This isn't a space where a lot of other hotels put their villas and stuff in that area, but these are just regular rooms with a walled in. I don't like it. I'm just going to say it. I don't like it. It feels claustrophobic. There's no way I would book this room. I do know you would like it because it's on the third floor.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest selling feature. You can take the stairs. You don't have to mess with these elevators that are getting backed up and everything. And I would love it if you had a view or something along those lines. The fact that there's walls up and everything, maybe not as good, but if you're a smoker or something, you want to go outside, or if you have people visiting, the room's a little bit tight, you can go outside and sit and have some drinks and everything. So I can see why it would be beneficial to some. Maybe others wouldn't like it. I definitely prefer, the setup at Link that we've talked about where you're outside, like in a cabana, open air space type of thing with just walls on the side, but you can see out to the pool and everything. So they maybe could have done that a little bit better. Maybe not. I don't know what's behind the back side of that patio. I mean, in Vegas to get a little outdoor area, it's kind of rare, kind of cool.
I guess it just feels very walled in and just the walls are tall. And I agree with the view. It would have been great. I would rather be high up in the tower or at least mid up in the tower and have a view of something, have a view of the strip. Without the outdoor space. And thanks to Josh and Rachel for sharing that. Other than that, it just looks like a standard room. Even I don't think it's been renovated yet.
Yeah, I'm actually going to talk about my booking experience with upcoming stay there, and supposed to be getting a remodeled room. So excited to see if it is as dark in person as it seems in the pictures, but we'll talk about more of that on Patreon.
So let's go to stage door. We've talked about the construction and the delays, and boy, are they delayed, man. We got a picture. Vital Vegas pulled this from Facebook. They're not even close here. It looks like wires everywhere, brought down to the bones. All the smoke has been taken out. Like, it will never be the same in there.
Takes a long time to take out like 40 years of cigarette smoke, Sean. You gotta rip it all out, spray it.
Yeah, I mean, this is quite a look at this place, kind of down to the bare bones, and not great if you're a big fan to see it take so long for this. I do believe we will see this all up and running before the race. It was supposed to be open weeks ago or months ago. I don't think Batista's is open yet either, so it's still waiting whatever their big problems are that they're running into. My guess is just an old falling apart building, and they're more expensive. So don't expect those cheap hot dogs anymore. They're going to have to raise the prices.
Yeah, I mean, whenever you rip open walls, there's always something that you find that is unexpected. I'm guessing there's something with wiring or code that wasn't in place back then, and now they have to redo it because it's not a huge space. You wouldn't think it would take that long to remodel just based on square footage size, but when you get into there, you never know what you're going to find.
So moving over to Cosmo, shout out to Nate in Vegas who shared some pictures of the new carpet that's going in on the second floor. It's pretty early on in this, so it's hard to tell exactly how much is being replaced. Well, the one thing you can see in these pictures is how much the old carpet needed to be replaced because it's very faded. It just looks old, right? It doesn't, I mean, physically old, not the design. I like both designs. It's hard for me to pick one. The new one feels fresh, so I'll go with it.
I don't know. In the one picture, it looks like a zipper that's like coming undone and the carpet's coming out of it, spilling out of it. Maybe that's why I got a warning sensitive content and I had to click that I'm okay with seeing it before I could see these photos on Twitter. They're thinking that it's like something weird. I don't know.
There is a joke in there somewhere for people who love carpets and casinos.
It's just kind of a weird thing. I mean, the other picture of it, it looks pretty nice. It looks decent. I don't know. The old stuff is definitely worn down, but maybe a little bit lighter on the eyes.
Yeah, I was trying to get over there, and when they're done and tried to get a better view of how it all looks finished, I do like it. It looks vibrant and bright, looks good quality. We've seen them put in some good carpets in the last few years at MGM Properties. New York's carpet I love. Luxor's super unique carpet that they put in there is good. So nice to see them giving that some love. Moving across the street, Boulevard, that's the new mall, or BLVD. I'm sorry to everybody out there, BLVD. And they have their overlook, and I guess they're putting concerts out there. Here's a picture of them having a concert. It's just a reminder that, like, it seems like people are moving from the base of the strip up to rooftops. I mean, everywhere.
Rooftops are the best, but no, it looks like a good time. They got a lot of people out there. I don't know if it was like a free concert or a ticket thing. I could see them doing some free shows up there, getting people up, hanging around and everything. And I never noticed, maybe I missed this before, but it looks like they kind of have like mini Singapore type tree things. And they're lit up, not quite as over the top as those, just the ring at the very peak of it is lit up, but it kind of gives me that same type of feeling.
Mini would be the key word compared to the ones in Singapore, but yeah, it's cool. It's a cool looking building. I mean, for a mall, they've made it look very nice. Let's put it that way compared to what was there before. So I said everyone's moving to the rooftops, but not true, because if you go over to the old Barbary Coast, Drai's is not going to be on the rooftop anymore, as that hotel, the Cromwell, transitions to Vanderpump. Then the pool will be open to the public, I suppose, similar to the Go Pool is what they said, but I have a hard time believing they're just going to open it up to anyone, probably hotel guests. But the point being that the day club and the nightclub up there are moving down to the basement. And for people who don't know, the basement's been open all this time. You were in the basement a few years ago. It would open very late at night when the rooftop would close. And now I guess the whole operation will be down there.
Yeah, it definitely is a more intimate, tight, basement-y feeling when you're down there, unless they've remodeled it or they're going to remodel it when they make the move. It was a good atmosphere. People were having fun. The music was loud and everything, but it's kind of like cut off, just like you'd think in a basement. Like there's like little sections. It's not very open, not anywhere near what you would feel like on a rooftop or a pool type of situation. But I can see why they would want to do this, kind of detach the pool from a nightclub, make it more just for the guests, because I'm sure they didn't love it, that was half of it and then it was a kind of a mess and they had to clean up every day and all those things that go into it. This would probably be easier and a better experience for people staying at the hotel. That 3 a.m. walk of shame out of there is one of the best in Vegas, so I'm going to miss that, coming down that elevator.
I remember hearing the stories when you went there and just how much you enjoyed that walk of shame and all of that stuff. Drai's opened over 30 years ago. there in the basement. It's a family-owned local business, which is kind of interesting when you think about all that's gone on in Vegas since then. And so it's cool that they're staying with the property. They did say they are going to make some renovations to the basement. It'll look familiar, but new. I don't know what that means, but good for them. Another quick update out to Prim and Buffalo Bills, and Affinity Gaming went to the county talking about how they're going to keep it closed, and they're asking for permission to keep it closed for 2 years with a possible extension. And a couple things, they say that it's going to be open 8 to 10 times per year for events. They promise that they will reopen it at least once per quarter during the closure, and that's for these events at the arena. And then they said that because of future development, they are kind of holding on to Whiskey Pete's and Buffalo Bills with the hopes that they could support 3 casinos again, but right now they just can't do it.
It's kind of crazy. I wouldn't think that opening it and everything that comes with that, cleaning it, getting things set up, pulling things out after, would make it worth it. So they must be doing pretty good business in the arena. And then you're hoping people kind of spill in the casino and spend some money, but just staffing. I mean, I guess you could pull from your other property and make people work overtime and stuff, but it just seems like it's a lot of hurdles for 8 to 10 times a year. I could see if they were just like, hey, we're only going to be open Fridays to Sundays, something like that, and then try to get more events in there so they have something going on every other week or along those lines. But this just seems kind of crazy to have such a big building sitting there, and then you have to, kind of shine it up every couple months.
Well, let's just assume they're probably not shining up. I don't know. I would guess just a few bars are opening, and obviously the machines. I don't really know what the setup has been. They have done a couple of events there, so maybe we'll find out more. The point is, this is going to be the new normal for quite a while until either they figure out that the business is coming back because of other development out there, which I'm kind of doubting. I mean, the airport's still a long ways away, or the company sells it, or something else happens. So we'll keep you guys updated on that. Over to Plaza. You want to bid for an upgrade? Bidding for upgrades is nothing new. It happens on cruise lines, hotels, but I guess Plaza's doing it. And it made me realize it's not something you see often in Vegas, or at least not something I've seen when booking hotel rooms.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me, on our travel show, we talked about Priceline on the last episode, and back in the day where you would bid for a 3-star and you try to price it low enough, there was like those websites that would tell you where about people were getting it, and you shoot your shot and hope for the best, and sometimes they'd offer you a 2-star instead, and those sort of things. This kind of feels that way. Like, you might as well give it a try and see what you can get, and because if they're going to put you into that room anyway, they're looking to make a little bit of money on it. Let's say they sell out of regular rooms and they're like, all right, we got to put some people into better views or whatever. They're going to take something that they're making a little bit back versus just giving it away. So I would fill it out. I think it's a good idea on Plaza's part, and then it's kind of a cool little feature if you book and stay there.
As a reminder, we have our Patreon. $5 a month gets you access to the weekly after show, helps support our channel, the community, the news, the work we're doing here. Patreon.com/MTM Vegas for all the information. And thanks to everyone who supports us over there. Just such a great community of people. I wish Criss Angel was over there, but maybe if we go audition. So this is our yearly reminder for open auditions. Criss Angel is looking for dancers and acrobats. And this Saturday on September 6th, you can go to his theater and audition. Are you flying out to do it? Come on.
A lifelong dream to perform in front of 12 people, man. I can't wait.
And we'll make the same joke next year when he does the auditions again.
Oh, just kidding. We love you, Criss. And all the people that love Criss, it's just a running gag. Maybe he'll sell
He's the man of the people.
Yeah, he's got Lambo. 2006. Buy it. Then you can get more dancers. Let's go.
I'm going to prove the point. He's the man of the people. Open auditions. He does a lot of charity work, and he deserves credit for that. But also his garage sale, just selling his stuff right to the people on his website. You really can't be more of a man of the people than that.
I mean, who doesn't, dream of just having a 20-year-old Lamborghini for sale? It's just so weird. But no, he does a lot of good stuff around the town, and I've never heard a bad thing about him. So there's nothing personal. It's just a joke.
So staying with Planet Hollywood, I was just kind of looking into Planet Hollywood. I saw a video that kind of piqued my interest about the history of the brand. And I wanted to see how many locations Planet Hollywood has remaining. And it's pretty sad. Remember the one in Vegas closed a couple years ago? All that's left are 3 locations, one in Walt Disney World, one in Times Square, and then one in Doha. And then there's a couple of like all-inclusive properties that are Planet Hollywood, and then the Planet Hollywood here. And it's just an interesting kind of mixture when you look at the Hard Rock brand. Planet Hollywood kind of evolved out of that brand, and Hard Rock's so strong. all over the world. Planet Hollywood, not so much. Still owned by Robert Earl, the guy who started it.
Growing up, it was always cool going in there and seeing all the memorabilia and feeling like you were like kind of in the movie, or seeing what they were wearing in the movie and stuff like that. And it was unique. The food always kind of stunk. The service wasn't great. The environment was usually pretty cool, but it was all about that. And maybe it was like the beginning of what we see in Vegas now with the being immersive and everything. It was kind of like immersive dining before that was a thing. So it was ahead of its time a little bit. It just never really evolved from there.
So the video I saw was themed restaurants of the 90s, but it really talks about how themed restaurants go back to the 20s and 30s. So I'll try to find a link to that. It just came up on my feed. But yeah, Planet Hollywood, we've talked about the rumors over the years of Caesar selling that. Obviously, there's a licensing deal, so that's difficult. But maybe the Planet Hollywood brand just doesn't have the cachet anymore. It's just not that big of a brand when you look at its footprint.
No, I don't think anybody stays at Planet Hollywood because they love Planet Hollywood. Maybe when it first launched, it was something cool, kind of like a Hard Rock, but it's not that anymore. I love the Planet Hollywood Casino in Vegas. It's probably my favorite Caesars property to hang out in, and it's just got a really cool vibe. But I think it could have that being named anything else.
Dare I say Aladdin?
I mean, that would be weird. It doesn't make sense, but
what?
It doesn't feel Middle Eastern at all.
Oh my God. Well, let's talk Middle East. Camels at Luxor. There you go. We walked right,
what a
back
segue.
right into that transition and didn't even know it. So somebody tagged me in this. I don't remember these talking camels at Luxor, kind of talking about the old theming when it opened, the boat ride, all the stuff we've talked about over the years. But they had talking camels.
Yeah, I mean, is there anything more 90s than this little video of them talking and just the animatronics of it and everything? And it just shows, like, when Luxor launched, it was something unique. It was top of the market. It was so cool that, I love that in the video, it has the Nile boat going through, or the Nile River, and the people on the boat and everything. And if they would have kept that theming, kept the waterfalls, kept the river, and updated it and kept it nice, I think it still would be a place that people would really want to go to. And it would be still the most unique property in Vegas. And there was just a thread on Twitter about this, like how if they would have put some money into it, it could still be high mid-tier. They think New York is a nicer hotel, where this is so much more to offer had they kept it going.
But they didn't. But we can remember the talking camels. You're right, that like the conversation they have, very goofy, very fun. I guess the most similar thing we have today in Las Vegas would be Mr. Krabs over at the Circus near the Adventure Dome. He's out on the boardwalk talking to people. Not quite the same, but cool to see that piece of history, especially when I forgot. I was at Luxor opening week. I'm sure I saw these. I just don't have a memory of it. Just reminder, there was so much that was going on that you don't have to remember everything. We lost.
What about the parrots at Golden Tiki? No love for them?
Yeah, they're not quite the same level of sophistication. Although the camels were pretty basic. All right, you're right.
Yeah.
So one of the pleasures of doing this show is hearing from all of you and some of the people that watch, including Paul Steelman, who is responsible for some of the most iconic casino and hotel designs, not just in Las Vegas, but all over the world. I laugh because I'm just at awe of the fact that he watches the show and that he emails me with some insights. So we had talked, about elevator wait times and hotel corridor length and all, long walks to your room. And he emailed me with some insights about the design guidelines for the guest experience and how to design a hotel to make this work. Starting with the hotel corridor length, he says the maximum walking distance in a hotel room corridor should not exceed 300 feet. And this guideline was established by Steve Wynn, and he says it remains a standard today. So 300 feet from the elevator to the end. Elevator wait times, the maximum acceptable wait time mark, exactly 38 seconds.
Was somebody like thinking meters at Aria when they created those hallways? Because there's no way that's 300 feet. No way.
No, Aria is, it feels like miles. And it's a maze, too, because of the way the building architecture.
38 seconds would be a dream in Vegas if that's how long you had to wait for an elevator. And I could see it. When you stand there for a minute, you start to get angry. It doesn't make sense. A minute isn't a big deal, but you're like, I just want to get out of here, or I just want to get back to my room. This is annoying. And then you're stopping on 15 floors on the way down. Yeah, I can see the frustration. 38 seconds, it rings true to me.
And the last point about destination elevators, those are the elevators that are at Circo where you press your floor and it tells you which elevator to go to. I've heard in the past, and I've read in the past, 20 to 30% more efficient. Paul says that they are more efficient, but he says owners are hesitant because of customers being confused and then operational issues. So I don't know what that means. Maybe the system breaks. I mean, imagine the computer breaks down and everything goes to hell. But I've used them a lot. I like them. I do hope that they are implemented more often because it does help the experience, makes the doors open and close quicker, makes people get on and off faster. I don't think you like these systems as much as I do, though.
No, I like them. I think they're efficient. I like that. I could see why it would be maybe potentially more of an issue because there's more working parts to it. If something goes wrong, it probably goes wrong in a big way. Like the whole bank is down instead of just one elevator.
All right. So a couple other things talking about Resorts World. He talked about the tiki bar and he designed that bar. Paul, man, it's just so beautiful, that bar. It's such a shame
It is.
to see it empty all the time. Basically, he said it was part of Genting Palace, which we know when it opened, and it just never caught on. Like nobody goes there. It's just that weird location. The restaurant's off to the side. The Hilton lobby is on the other side. He's just said it's never sort of performed as well as they had hoped. And then also for the Crockford's lobby, what a masterpiece that place. I haven't been in a while. I didn't even get to visit it on my last visit, but it is a truly beautiful space. And he said, quote, it retained its integrity even through multiple rounds of value engineering. So congratulations on that. I'm glad they didn't get to cut that down, even if it's probably not the best use of space these days during the week. I know that it's often closed, we've talked about, and you can check in at Conrad. So maybe not the best results with it, but such a beautiful space. And if you're there, go in. And if you can't find your way in, just go outside and go in through the Crockford's entrance and you can see it.
Just walk through the high limit gaming. That's the easiest way, I think, to get back there, and just go straight through to the back area. And that's, downside is it's kind of hidden, but that's also the cool feature of it, that when you find it, it's never busy or never overly crowded. And I love, it's one of my favorite bar areas in, Vegas, not even to say like a check-in area, just bar area. It's such a beautiful bar. It's so tranquil. If you want to take a step away from the casino floor and everything, it's really top notch. I mean, I can't think of many places that I've rather, if you're going to have a conversation with somebody or do a business type of thing, I can't think of a better area to do it in. So knocked it out of the park. And I wish, the tiki bar just have like the best deal on the strip for drinks. Do a 2-for-1 or, from 4 to 6, do a crazy deal on appetizers or drinks. If you had an amazing happy hour menu, people would come in, and then that will create a buzz and they'll stay later. And if you make great drinks, they'll pay the full price once you get past it. But you have to get people in there, and they're not willing to do any type of thing for it. Like nobody knows it's there. Put a sign out there that says $5 tiki drinks from 4 to 6. People will come.
Thank you again, Paul, for sharing all your insights. We have some more stuff to share in the next couple of weeks from him. I'm excited to do that. Always amazing to hear from him. But let us know, 38 seconds. Does that make sense? 300 feet? Chime in down in the comments. But let's close with this. Caesar's $300 all-in package. So we've been hearing rumors, and by next week, by the next show, there will be many more deals from what I hear. The LVCVA is coming out with their marketing plan, and we're going to learn a lot more at the end of this week. So we will cover that next week. But Caesar's came all out, $300 all in, copying downtown. This includes a $200 dining credit, resort fees included, taxes included. Sounds like a great deal, Mark, but it's only at Flamingo, Link, and Harrah's.
Well, Sean, we all know Harrah's is out for me, so I'm not staying there. I don't care. They could pay me. But if I'm going to pick one, I like the Link. It's always a good time. Flamingo's probably the best of them all, I would say, at least for me. And depending on which room you could get at the Link, but you're not getting that pool room. It's towards younger people, not our age. So Flamingo it is, and this is a great deal. It's an amazing deal. It's what we've been hoping for. Kind of a reverse back to like 2009, 2010 when we saw stuff like this. They've been gouging us, taking money out of our pockets, hand over fist, and we have been begging for this. So take advantage while you can. But it also makes me kind of scared that they're going this far down and they're offering this much value. I was like, it's not that bad in Vegas. It'll be fine. Is it cracking?
Well, this is through the end of the year, so this indicates softness for the fall. But they fooled you, Mark. This is not a great deal. On a lot of days. This is a good deal on some days.
Okay.
It's only midweek, obviously. But I did some looking, and some of these hotels often go for $9 a night if you're logged into your Caesars Rewards account, and even maybe up $15, $20. So it ends up being, a discount on the food credit, basically, what you're already sort of doing. So if you were going to pay $135.94 for the room, now you're paying, $164 for the food credit? So not the greatest deal there, but not every day is $10. So I guess that's the point, is if it was a really cheap day, maybe not the best deal, still a marginal savings. But again, you're locking yourselves into their restaurants. But on a day where the rate is like $50, now you're doing pretty good. You're getting over half off on that dining credit.
Yeah, I think this is aimed at people that aren't gamblers there maybe, or, just trying to get the headlines. Come stay here, book this because it's available to everybody. Where usually you want to always check your account to see what kind of offers you get. We should talk about which restaurants you can use it at. It's Guy, Gordon, Guy, Gordon, Guy, Pinkies.
Yeah, well, at least Pinkies is on there. That's exciting. You get the goat cheese balls.
One drink.
For like $50.
3 balls.
And this is really the problem, right? Is this credit ain't going very far. Somebody pointed out it's technically like $67 a day in credit or whatever, and you can't even get a meal. As always, it's not always the best deal, but it's better than it was before, and it's a sign. One of the biggest gaming companies in Vegas saying, hey, we're going to come all in. We're going to get away from the nickel and diming. This week, you're going to see the beginning of the marketing of Las Vegas fighting back against the nickel and diming, the overcharging, this message that people have, this thing that's in the zeitgeist of Vegas ripping you off. They're going to fight it. We'll see if they're successful, but that's where we're at.
Isn't it kind of wild that competing brands would all kind of go to the same thing just based on what the local tourist part of the government is saying? Like, hey, this is what you guys need to fight, so let's all do this together. It's kind of bizarre. I can't think of any other city that would have that happen.
Well, they let them get out of control, so let's rein it in here a little bit, because just it's nuts with the prices and with everything else. And it's good to see maybe some messaging, something better. But it is clear that they're not doing this out of the kindness of their hearts. They need the business, and so that is it. And we'll probably see many more deals, and I'm looking forward to covering them. A ton that we covered on this show, so make sure to leave a comment. Hotel design, obviously this 2-for-1 deal. Stage door, is that heartbreaking to see it like that? Everything else we discussed on the show, the camels over at Luxor, leave a comment. We do 2 shows a week, Tuesdays and Fridays, and we'll be back in a couple days with another show. Thanks so much for watching. Talk to you next time.
You know where they're going to make it up?
Where?
$12 Snickers, baby. Let's go.
Next show.